In the second unresolved problems segment tonight, Republicans and sanctuary cities. President-elect Donald Trump pledged to defund sanctuary cities during the campaign, and Republicans in Congress are already making plans to carry through on that pledge. Here's Congressman John Culberson, a Republican from Texas, on Fox this morning.
If you want federal money, follow federal law. And President Trump and Attorney General Sessions, I'm confident they're going to do the same thing. And everything's now pre-positioned for New York, Chicago, California to lose their federal money. But it's their decision. If you want to protect criminal aliens, don't ask for federal money. Those days are over.
Joining us now for reaction from Atlanta, Scott Miller, a Republican strategist, and from Fort Worth, Texas, Francisco Hernandez, an immigration attorney. Francisco, hello, Francisco.
Hi, Mr. Moley.
Follow the money, right? So if you break federal law, you're a city in a state that's breaking federal law, you lose out on all those funds that the feds give to you to secure your borders.
If it were that simple, what's amazing to me is that this congressman who's in charge of spending the money doesn't know how the money is spent. The federal money that these jails or cities get are to, in fact, enforce immigration laws. And it's not aid like welfare. They have to take training. They have to do that to get the money. If we don't give them the money, then they're not going to help Immigration Customs Enforcement do their job. So they're paying for what they're getting.
Right, but Mr. Miller, there is a way to cut off some of this additional funding that these states get that they send to these cities, right?
Of course there is. And I mean, you know, if you argue for the sovereignty of a state over a city, over the federal government, then you really, I assume Francisco would leap to the defense of George Wallace when he tried to make Alabama a segregationist state. I mean, if each city can decide for itself what laws, federal laws, it's going to obey and which it's not, well, I think federal funds across the board ought to be withheld until they come in line with law.
Well, let me just bring this up, Mr. Miller. So if a state is violating federal marijuana laws, you're not suggesting that some of the funding for their state jails and prisons and law enforcement be pulled back, do you?
No, I don't. But I'm not a constitutional lawyer, so I don't really understand.